Okay, so part 2 of music that I started to write and never finished. This one I actually completely forgot about until I was trying to find all these different fragments of things I had written, various folders in my hard drive, and put them all together. And I was like, well, what is this one? FS1. And I listened to it. I was like, hey, that's not all that bad, really. And I wonder what the FS1 stood for. And then I finally remembered when I looked at the fact that Fly Swatter Rag, the completed Fly Swatter Rag, had the same date on it. I remembered that Fly Swatter Rag started when I had been stuck on something, and I slapped my hand down on the keyboard, and I was like, oh, I like that, and it's like, oh, I like that, and so I started over from scratch with this theme that just came to me as I slapped my hand down on the keyboard, and so I abandoned the original thing that I had started on as Fly Swatter Rag. I forgot that I'd actually saved it, so this was my first thoughts on Fly Swatter Rag, completely different from how Fly Swatter Rag actually turned out. It's pretty wild, but I listened. I was like, yeah, something could be worked out of that. I don't know if I could do it. This next one is a uncompleted or incomplete collaboration between myself and Max Keenlyside. One day I was talking with him on Facebook, and he just said, well, we had been talking about. He asked me if I'd ever collaborated with anybody. So, well, not, just that one thing with Andrew Barrett. And a short time later, he says, "Oh, hang on a minute! I just got an idea for a strain in C." And he comes back. He's hand played this strain. I was like, "Oh, that's kind of neat." And so that night, I ended up scoring the strain and writing a second strain. And I didn't finish the second strain. Really, I didn't really like it. But I said, "Well, I've got some ideas for the second strain here," and I wrote an intro. And so then he came back, and he had changed a little bit of his original first strain, altered the intro, and reworked my second strain really well. I was like, oh yeah, that's how it should have gone. And so then I came up with a title because we are 4 time zones apart. We're at opposite ends of North America. So I called it Coast to Coast Rag. And because we're 4 time zones apart, because he's on Prince Edward Island, and I was in California at the time. I thought, well, since it's starting in C, why don't we can translate, we can go to the trio and go into A flat, which adds 4 flats, 4 time zones, for 4 hours difference. It's somewhat unusual, not unheard of. There are a lot of rags that do that. Even Scott Joplin did it. And so then I wrote a third strain in A flat, and an idea, 2 bars for a final strain. Max didn't really like the transitioning to A flat. I don't know, for some reason. So nothing's ever become of this since then. Although it's funny, I showed the music in progress to Tom Pryor, and he played through it. And when he got to the 4th strain, it has just those 2 bars. Well, he didn't stop. He just kept playing, just made up the rest of the 4th strain. He took that motif and played it again slightly lower, which is exactly what I wanted to do. It was pretty amazing. I just played this blank page, just keep playing. So this was Coast to Coast Rag as it was left, as far as I know, unless Max has worked on it since then. So again, the intro is half his, half mine. The first strain is all his, the second strain is half his, half mine, and the third strain is all mine. I didn't put any performance aspects into the third strain, so it's a little drier sounding than the rest of this, which has a lot of staccato and accented notes here and there. that's I like it. I don't mind the transition to A flat. There's a rag that I kind of sort of play that does that, Crimson Rambler rag. This next one is the first thing I wrote after moving to Nevada, and it's called Bloodsucker Rag. It's really complete, sort of, kind of, sort of. I just don't like the third string, and I think there should be more in the trio before it reprises the first strain again. But I really don't know what. It's called Bloodsucker Rag because the house we moved into in Reno was infested with mites, and then the heater turned on, everything got covered in mites, and the mites were just eating us alive, sucking our blood. And so I was like, we gotta get rid of these bloodsuckers. I thought, hey, that's a good title for a rag, Bloodsucker Rag. So this is Bloodsucker Rag, which again is kind of sort of complete, but it's got a really anemic, terrible trio. I don't know how to fix it, how to beef it up. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever work on that or just release it as it is. Next one's another case where I come up with a title first, which is what I usually do. I just thought, "Heavens to Betsy." I was like, "This is such an old expression. I've never seen any piano music called that." But again, I can't write novelty type music. It just doesn't work. But this is what I came up with. The arpeggios don't they're not timed right, so that sounds kind of weird. let's see. What was this one? I just have a number on it. Oh yeah, this one. We're coming up with silly words. Linda and I are coming up with silly words, and I came up with the word Lollipopology, which would be the study of lollipops. So with that word in mind, I came up with this cute little strain. I like this actually. I would like to work on this. There's one measure that I would change near the end of the strain. It goes da 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 da. I'd want it to go da 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 instead, go up instead. But I like this. I like to finish this tune someday. Isn't that cute? I like that. So that's that's all the fragments that I have on my PC. There are other things that I started writing on the Amiga, which I probably lost forever. Such as a waltz. Wasn't any good anyway. Not worth saving. So yeah, some of that stuff is salvageable. I don't know if I ever will though. So I thought I'd just go ahead and get them out there. So they're out there. And maybe if any pieces that people particularly like, maybe I will work on them again someday. Who knows? It's been a few years since I've written anything, so I don't know if I'm any good at it anymore.